This is a story about a 12-year-old child. His name is Archie. He's brain dead after he did the choking game. It's at the internet a popular game, unfortunately, for children. The choking game is what it says.
Which is the first time ever, and that he's likely to be dead is not good enough. This is believed to be the first time that someone has been declared likely to be dead by an MRI test.
No, it's not the first time. I have seen at least one case in which a person that was considered brain dead did come back to life. And coming back to life, I mean fully coming back to life. You should never give parents false hope. This is Zolpidem. Elon Musk does use this product. It has bizarre paradoxal effects. It's called adverse effects, of course, but it's very bizarre. If you have someone in a vegetable state, this is what did bring them back in the vegetable state, like people I have seen. I don't know what this means. I don't know. Oh, I see. But the other thing with Archie, if there is any hope for Archie, it's Zolpidem, but this is far more promising. Hyperbaric oxygen supply. It's high pressure administration of oxygen. Inside the chamber, I do not want to give false hope. Inside the chamber, someone has to manually pump the oxygen into the chest of the now legally considered brain dead Archie. And this is very difficult. The parents see a child that is almost alive.
The medical opinion presented in the court was clear in that the whole concept of brain death is now discredited, and in any event, Archie cannot be reliably diagnosed as brain dead.
I have seen one case. At request, I can write it in the comments with a link to his description of what he survived. He was brain dead, absolutely brain dead, considering legally by law, but just at the moment before his organs were harvested. Now, before people are harvested, they sometimes show the Lazarus reflex. Sorry, it's called the Lazarus sign. Imagine the Lazarus sign reflects in brain dead or brainstem failure patients. It causes them to briefly raise their arms and drop them crossed on their chest, like an Egyptian mummy. Now, how likely is a brain dead person by law able to put their arms before their chest? It does happen. That is why before organ donation it is standard procedure to give muscle relaxants so the Lazarus reflex is suppressed. You should not ever give any false hope.
I feel sickened at the hospital and the judge have failed to take the wishes of the family into consideration. I do not believe Archie has been given enough time. From the beginning, I have always thought, what is the rush? His heart is still beating. He has gripped my hand.
This is a very important sign. In the people I have seen coming really out of vegetable state, out of this situation, like this, an artificial supply, besides the heart, of course. They did count their fingers one by one. That was not a reflex. Take your thumb and symmetrically, it was always symmetrically, they counted their fingers with their thumb one by one. They pressed their thumb first on the pointing finger, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and the pink. It was always symmetrical. If there is anything what she said true, that he was rubbing her hands. I've seen it before. They did come back, but I did not.
And as his mother, and my gut instinct, I know my son is still there. Until it's God's way, I won't accept he should go. I know of miracles when people have come back from being brain.
I did not give attention to the people that were brain dead or in vegetable state that were not my loved ones. The people that did come back were my loved ones. That's why I did read about things that is behind your personal scope, hopefully. You are hopefully never confronted with life support patients and brain dead patients, but usually they, especially people that are older, they suppress the Lazarus reflex in brain dead or brainstem failure situations with muscle relaxers to make organ harvesting feasible.
Brain dead. This case raises the significant moral, legal and medical questions as to when a person is dead. Why does this ruling today tell us about where society is at? We do intend on appealing. This is only the start. I will not give up my fight for my son.
She said she does give up her heart to save the 12-year-old Archie. What if that was taken literally? Here, Archie's mother says he did an online challenge. It's called the joking game. But here, Archie's parents are given extra time because the father of Archie was taken to the hospital just before the judge in higher court would complete the procedure to finally take Archie, a 12-year-old kid, of life support. I will try to explain what I try to explain. I have seen people come back from brain dead situation. Yes, it does cause the Lazarus reflex. It does exist. And Zolpidem at that time was not used except by. It was not a standard procedure. Hyperbaric oxygen supply with someone pumping oxygen manually by hand by entering the oxygen supply chamber with the patient. That these are the last hopes that are feasible. These are the last hopes. Zolpidem, hyperbaric oxygen supply. Someone has to give the patient in a hyperbaric oxygen supply manually by hand the lung pump function. That can be the parent. She could do that. But you must never give people false hope. False hope is like Pandora box. Like mythology, the last thing that remained in Pandora's box was hope. And everything that escaped Pandora's box was everything except hope. But you must not give her or her husband false hope.
Thank you.